let's take a step back and see what we've built. So far, we have set up our project, we've brought in TypeScript, we've brought in the Angular dependencies and the Angular packages, and then loaded them with System.js. Now we can finally build with Angular 2. The setup is a little bit of a rough patch for some people that aren't totally used to working with ES6, and how the setup can be a little bit of a rough patch, but once you get it done, then you don't really have to do it anymore, since we can use those 5 files that we created to be the starting point for all of our next Angular 2 applications. And if you're coming here straight from the first lesson and you skipped all of the setup, then you're going to need 5 files. You're going to need index.html, package.json, a TypeScript config, a typings file, and a System.js config. The snippets for all 5 of those files can be found below, so you can just go ahead, create 5 files for yourself, copy and paste them into there, run npm install, and then you'll have an Angular 2 setup, and you'll be in the same spot as the people that had gone through these first few lessons. It's really easy to feel overwhelmed at this point, but just remember that a lot of these features that Angular 2 is providing us, the reason that we have to do this sort of setup is because browsers don't yet support ES6. Let's go ahead and give this a try to make sure that this application can be a great starting point for our next Angular 2 app. Let's open up Explorer, go into Batcave, which is my working directory for all my projects. We have this ng2 start folder here. Create a new folder, and we'll split these in half. Let's create a new folder called ng2 start test. And all we need is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 files. So we'll take those, copy, and paste over. Then in the command line, we can go and choose that directory. npm install. That will go ahead and grab all of the dependencies that we need for Angular 2, and now we're ready to work with Angular 2. Let's clear this, and then ls to see what's going on. We have index.html, the 5 files we created, the node modules folder for all of our packages, and also the typings folder for our typings packages. Alright, that's everything we need. We'll go back into the other folder that we had just to work in there. But that ng2 start test folder is a good example of how we can just bring in 5 files, npm install, and then be ready to work with Angular 2. So if you were a little bit overwhelmed with that first bit of setup, don't worry about it, because now you have your own setup when you want to start working with Angular 2. And now you know what's going into your own application and why certain choices were made when we're working with Angular 2. That's enough of setup though. Let's actually get to building an application.